Well, it's another excuse that we can jump on. Oh, well, I don't need to do this because this report said that I was going to be healthy anyway. And maybe you would be. But if your goal was to get rid of that fat, you got to stick to it. Simon the Board A-hole here, and today we are going to answer that question that everybody wants to be answered, and nobody really knows what the hell they're talking about. Because when it comes to losing weight or fat loss, whatever the hell you trying to get in shape, you get this kind of argument where people go, well, you can get a fat person, right? Let's just talk as honestly and transparent as we can. You can get a fat person, and the fat person 9 times out of 10 will say, hey man, doesn't matter that I'm fat because I do all this exercise, I'm a healthy person. That's one side of the fence. I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong for the moment. And the other side of the fence, you usually have someone that's mega ripped and goes to the gym, and they're like, no, it's not true, you're obese, it's bad, and you need to stop all of this now, otherwise bad things are going to come to you. Well, a brand new study has arrived, and as we always say when it comes to studies, you should take them all with a piece of salt, because a piece of salt, imagine that one salt, lovely, because you can go find one that has the counterpoint anyway. However, this study does indeed say you do not have to lose weight to be healthy, because according to research, exercise is much more important. We just get into it because who can say it better than this? For better health and a longer lifespan, exercise is more important than weight loss, especially if you are overweight or obese, according to a new interesting review of the relationship among fitness, weight, heart health, and longevity. The study, which analyzed the results of hundreds of previous studies of weight loss and workouts in men and women, found that obese people typically lower their risks of heart disease and premature death far more by gaining fitness than by dropping weight or dieting. The review adds to mounting evidence that most of us can be healthy at any weight if we are also active enough. So right, there you go. Straight away, they are saying without any guesswork that if you are an obese person or if you're a fat person and you want to be healthy, just make sure you're doing exercise and you can eat your burgers, your chips and your fries and whatever else. And I think there is probably some truth in that, in the way that this is written and in the way that the study has been crafted. Because of course the study is saying if you are going to choose between doing exercise or sorting out your diet, you are better to go and do the exercise, right? Get your heart going, get yourself moving, get some fresh air, and all of this kind of a thing. However, in my opinion, and again, what do I know? Nothing, I'm a bald idiot here on the internet. Why the hell you would start picking and choosing like that? I have no idea. Because even though you may not run into certain areas of disease or trouble or whatever the hell it was, because you are an obese person that's doing exercise, there are still other things that can come out of the fact that you are indeed obese. I don't think anybody out there actually wants to be obese, right? I totally get how easy it is to get there because you fall into a trap and food makes you feel good, and if you're having a bad day, you comfortably, anybody can understand that. Of course they did. But if somebody had a magic wand right now, I would bet, and what do I know? Nothing. But I would bet 100% of people who are obese would go, you know what, wave that magic wand, I just want to be normal. I want to get rid of all this stuff, because if nothing else, it's a lot of extra baggage to carry around, right? So it's going to be a little bit lethargic, it's going to annoy you, it's going to make certain things a little bit harder. So sure, yeah, if you start exercising, and also if you do start exercising, you're going to lose weight anyway. Like if you're eating burger, chips, fries for 10 years, and then in your 11th year, you keep eating that same diet, but all of a sudden you're doing runs 5 times a week, you are now going to be burning more calories than you were beforehand, and therefore you are going to start shifting some fat. Now, it's not going to be a massive amount after a certain amount of time because you will stabilize quite quickly, but that is where I kind of fell out with this study that someone did send to me. Thank you very much. I was like, I don't see why you would even be looking into this. Make sure you're eating well, make sure you're eating healthy because you want to be healthy. Again, the key word in health and fitness is health. And if you are a few pounds overweight, okay, that's something that you can either choose to deal with or choose to ignore, but you don't want to be sort of massively rotund for your entire life. I just think if nothing else, it would be frustrating, and again, comes with its own problems. Glenn Geisha, a professor of exercise physiology at Arizona State University in Phoenix, is well versed in the inadequacies of workouts for fat loss. For decades, he has been studying the effects of physical activity on people's bodies, competitions, and metabolisms, as well as their endurance, with a particular focus on people who are obese. Much of his past research has underscored the futility of workouts for weight loss. In a 2015 experiment he oversaw, for instance, 81 sedentary overweight women began a new routine of walking 3 times a week for 30 minutes. After 12 weeks, a few of them had shed some body fat, but 55 of them had gained weight. In other studies, though, overweight and obese people with significant health problems, including high blood pressure, poor cholesterol profiles, or insulin resistance, a marker for type 2 diabetes, showed considerable improvements in those conditions after they started exercising, whether they dropped any weight or not. Seeing these results, the professor began to wonder if fitness might enable overweight people to enjoy sound metabolic health, whatever their body mass numbers, and potentially live just as long as thinner people, or even longer if the slender people happen to be out of shape. So I get it. Like, I truly do. We are coming down to improving your overall fitness compared to what the hell you're eating. And it is true too. Like, I think some people overstate in their own minds how many calories you can actually burn from doing cardio, right? Because nobody ever wants to get rid of food. We love food. Food makes us feel good again. And we just want to take a bit of cheese and rub it into our face and feel good about our lives. But ultimately, unless you are doing crazy amounts of cardio and you're doing it with a crazy amount of intensity, you're always going to be best probably taking a little bit of food out before you start doing more cardio, because you do an extra 5-10 minutes over here and there. It's really good for you and you should be doing it, but it's not going to get you past the fat loss hump if that's what you've hit. But again, the problem with this is I do not understand why you wouldn't do this hand in hand. That is what fitness is all about. If you have a dream body in mind, you really can't pick and choose. That's the truth of it. And sure, you can help supplements to get you there, and there's this, that, and everything that people talk about on the internet. But ultimately, you need to be going to the gym and you need to be smashing it and you need to be getting healthy in that sense and maybe stimulating your muscles or whatever the hell it may be. But when you get home, you need to be backing that up with the right diet and using energy and fuel in order to allow you to recover and then to do it again. Now, if you are in this category where your kind of weight has ballooned, you're going to be looking at things a little bit differently, but I do not think it's good mentally, if nothing else. We're talking about physical health here. I do not think it's good mentally to start doing a bunch of physical exercise and not try and marry that up with the right diet. I just don't. I think you're going to send yourself down some kind of crazy path. Now, it's better than not doing the exercise. Of course it is. Like, there's not even a debate there. It would be absolutely ridiculous. I'm not saying that the researchers did this for this reason. They probably found these statistics and numbers and were fascinated by it. But it's another way that it's another excuse that we can jump on. Oh, well, I don't need to do this because this report said that I was going to be healthy anyway. And maybe you would be. But if your goal was to get rid of that fat, you got to stick to it. And you got to remember that there is no easy way out of this, right? It takes a hell of a long amount of time, which is why it's so hard to begin with. You do have to give up some foods that you enjoy, but there are also plenty of replacements that you can shift in there that taste maybe not as good, but are good enough so that you can have a sustainable, smart diet. They also go on to talk about the fact that you can lose weight via exercise or you can lose weight via your diet. And there was, I think I got it here, like 16% less or something like that. So basically, when it comes to heart disease, there was less people getting heart disease if they lost that weight via exercise than there was by just focusing on diet alone. And that makes, I don't even understand why you had to do that study. If you're out there running around up the hills, down the hills and doing a bicycle ride, of course, you're going to be working your heart and you're going to be working with all those little things within you that, exercise is so good at working. But you should do the diet as well. You should do the diet as well. I think if you do all of that, you're basically doing yourself a disservice. Because if you do them both at the same time and you do them to the best of your abilities, you are going to be able to achieve far more than kind of, again, sort of walking down this tightrope where you're neither in or out. Anyway, to finish this off, the primary takeaway of this said that you do not need to lose weight to be healthy. You will be better off in terms of mortality risk by increasing your physical activity and fitness than by intentionally losing weight. So, if you are looking at it that way and you're not going to give up the cheeseburgers, you should at least get on the treadmill, right? That's what they're saying here. But I still think a bunch of other problems that aren't necessarily heart related are going to be associated by being obese. So it's something to think about. And again, if you are that, you don't have to listen to me. If you truly feel happy within yourself and your doctor reports say that you're healthy, I'm not going to sit here and argue. I just think eventually all these things come and eventually kick our ass. But there you go. It's out there. People have mentioned it. People have talked about it. People are saying it. And now we can debate it in the comments. Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Hit the bell ding ding so you know when other videos are going live. There is another video on the screen. Please do give it a click. As I mentioned yesterday, I've teamed up with Gorilla Mind, Gorilla Mode, Derek, more plates, more dates. There's now also a link in the description below. And use the code Simon to get 10% off. I would massively appreciate it. You are helping me and hopefully I can help you because I think they're a great supplement company. Very happy to be aboard. Come say hello on Instagram and Twitter at SimonMiller316, SimonMiller.BigCartel.com for merchandise, Patreon.com/Simon316 to help support the channel that way too. I'm on Cameo if you'd like a shout out. Just search for my name on Ingrid Doucette's cookbook. All of this is below. Give it a check. Thank you very much for joining me today and I will see you on the next one.